Imagine turning on a 60s radio time machine and hearing hooks you know by heart, but the band names gone. Tonight, we're dusting off the 15 forgotten 60s pop bands that rocked hard, hit the charts, and then vanished. You'll hear the Sunshine Pop sing-along that floated into the top 40, the frat party anthem that survived radio bans, the Beatlesque banger that fooled half the neighborhood, and the psychedelic bubblegum that went all the way to #1 before the spotlight moved on. Quick question, which song do you love but can't remember who recorded it? Drop it in the comments now. Stay to the end for the UK smash cut by a band with a trailblazing female drummer. And yes, every pick is fact-checked and no artist repeats. Ready? Let's count down the lost legends 15 to 1. Think of a spring day sealed inside a pop record. That's this Baltimore group, soft harmonies, chiming guitars, and a melody that floats. The Peppermint Rainbow came out of the East Coast sunshine pop scene and landed the kind of song every AM station wanted in 1969. Bright, wistful, and instantly singable. Producer Paul Lika, best known for Green Tambourine, layers the voices so the chorus feels like a warm breeze. The lyric is simple. Will you be around after a perfect weekend? But it hits a universal nerve, the fear that magic won't last.
I wouldn't try to own your soul. You can be free.
The single stayed on the Hot 100 for weeks, peaking mid-chart, and became one of those, oh, I know this, radio staples, even if the band names slipped away. Why they vanished? Changing tastes and heavier late 60s competition, Sunshine Pop was already giving way to harder rock and funkier soul. Their follow-up brushed the charts, then the story faded.
Hey, Pop Lore family. Did you know only 1% of viewers are subscribed? If you love deep dives into pop legends, forgotten gems, and the stories behind the songs that shaped generations, hit that subscribe button right now. And don't forget to turn on LL notifications so you'll be the first to know when we premiere our next video. It's free, it helps Pop Lore grow, and it makes sure you never miss a single countdown or music story. Let's build this community together.
The greatest party you can barely remember. This South Carolina outfit took raw garage energy, a bar band sax riff, and a shouted hook and turned it into a national hit, despite radio programmers clutching their pearls over a lyric about too much fun. It's pure frat rock, hand claps, stomps, and a lead vocal that sounds like it's leaning across a jukebox. The song's secret power is how the horns and guitar lock into a dance groove that never lets up, so you can hear it once and feel like you've known it all summer. Why they vanished. Timing and typecasting. Double Shot was so definitive that the Medallions became that party band, and the next singles couldn't escape its shadow. Still, for one perfect season, they owned college gyms and teen clubs from the Carolinas to California.
Don't say no. Hold me close.
A sparkling pop postcard from the studio wizard corner of the 60s. The Band was really a project by songwriters Paul Vance and Lee Pockris, with Ron Dante, yes, the voice of the Archies, stacking those helium-bright harmonies like a choir of sunshine.
Never, never, ever let me go. Don't say no.
Tracy is bubblegum, perfected tambourine shake, sugar rush hook, and a chorus that lands like confetti. It soared into the top 10 and sounded tailor-made for transistor radios and after-school TV. Why they vanished? Because the musicians were never a real band to begin with. The Cufflinks lived and died on studio magic and a hit single's momentum when tastes shifted into album-oriented rock and singer-songwriters. This kind of confection lost its shelf space. A garage combo from Ohio that caught lightning with a song written by British hitmakers John Carter and Ken Lewis. The record is all snap and swagger. A fuzz-kissed guitar riff, a tambourine you can see in your mind, and a pep talk lyric, give your life a little bit of soul, that lands like a halftime speech. It roared up to the #2 spot in 1967 and sold 1 million, bridging Mersey Beat sparkle and American garage grit. Why they vanished. The Cascades Cats bubblegum empire that helped push the single couldn't bottle the same spark twice. Follow-ups charted lower, and the moment passed as psychedelia and hard rock took the front seat. Still, Little Bit of Soul keeps turning up in movies, commercials, and cover versions because it's built on rock-solid bones, riff, beat, chant, done. The most contagious no in 60s pop, Youngstown, Ohio's Human Beinz took an Isley Brothers cut and turned it into a kinetic chant. Snare on the 2s and 4s, guitar stabbing holes in the air, and a call and response that seems to multiply every time the chorus returns. The record jumped into the top 10 in early '68 and became a permanent adrenaline shot for oldies playlists. Why they vanished. The cruel math of the one big hit. They tried a punchy follow-up and couldn't crack the same ceiling. Meanwhile, radio was leaning towards smoother soul on one side and heavier rock on the other. But Nobody But Me never leaves the party. It's become shorthand for the moment the dance floor finally wakes up.
And I'll believe what you say, but who do you think?
If you dropped the needle blind in late '65, you might think this was a lost Beatles track. That was the trick and the genius. The Knickerbockers, a New Jersey band with sharp suits and sharper harmonies, cut a record that moves like a sports car.
Lies, lies, I can't believe a word you...
Tight tambourine, ringing guitars, and a lead vocal that flips from sweet to snarling in a heartbeat. Lies isn't just imitation, it's acceleration. It captures the rush of British invasion pop with American garage grit, and it does it in under 3 minutes.
I don't believe what you say, but who do you think you are, girl?
Why they vanished. Being the band that sounds like the Beatles is a paradox. You get attention fast, but it's hard to build your own lane. Follow-ups couldn't escape the comparison, and radio moved on, but Lies still crackles like electricity.
Other girls did it. You didn't think of nothing new.
This is Teenage Attitude pressed into vinyl, a 6-note guitar hook, a cocky vocal, and a beat that struts. Little Girl is the sound of a garage door rolling up and a band daring you not to dance.
You went out on me, so other girls did it too. You around no more. If you come knocking, you won't get past me.
The Syndicate of Sound came out of San Jose with a local single so undeniable it jumped to national radio. It's economical songwriting, verse, chorus, bite, no extra gears, no wasted motion.
Past my door. Yeah.
Why they vanished. The single burned so bright that the rest of their material lived in its shadow, and the scene was moving towards psychedelia and harder rock. Still, if you want to explain garage pop to someone, you play this.
This is one of those glorious accidents of pop. A group of Memphis high schoolers cut a simple, punchy track with a rubber band bass line and a chant you can learn in one spin. Legend says the master take was short, so the producer spliced the same performance back to back to make a full single. Result: a 2-minute sprint that feels like one continuous cheer. It shot up the charts and lived at pep rallies and sock hops everywhere. Why they vanished. Lightning struck once. They tried to follow it, but you can't fake the innocence and momentum that make this record fly. Even so, the song's message, keep going, keep moving, has carried it across decades. This video is sponsored by the Lore Store on Amazon, your one-stop shop for music lovers across reggae, rock, pop, and hip-hop. We built it for real listeners who don't want to dig through 1,000 listings to find the right gear. Inside the Lore Store, you'll find 5 aisles. VIP, top, battle-tested essentials. Headphones, turntables, speakers, gig-safe earplugs, smart speakers. Reggae vibe, roots and lovers. Rock made easy, automatic decks, warm bookshelf speakers, vinyl care. Rock lore, classic rock must-haves, open back cans, simple amps, living room concert vibes. Pop lore, feel-good everyday setups, clean, clear speakers, easy streaming, nostalgia-friendly picks. Hip-hop must-haves, punchy bass without the muddle, closed-back headphones and living room systems that handle low-end, plus a rotating crate of old album vinyl if you're rebuilding a 60s-90s collection. Every product page tells you who it's for, 3 pros, 1 con, and why we picked it. So you can choose with confidence. Flying soon? Check. VIP for noise canceling that tames plane roar. Mostly listening at home? Try open-back headphones that let live albums breathe. Want instant gratification vinyl? Our fully automatic turntable is 1 button from silence to music, and the record cleaning kit knocks down crackle so the bass tightens up. Headed to shows? Grab high-fidelity earplugs, hands-free at home. Our smart speaker picks let you say, play 70s reggae or classic pop, and you're there. Deal alert. If you use the link in the description, you'll land on our curated picks with current best available Amazon pricing and active discounts where applicable. Prices change, so buy now to lock in today's deal. Tap the link in the description, pick your aisle, grab a favorite, and tell me which category you want me to build next. The Lore Store. Listen better, with gear that gets out of the way and lets the music live. Detroit is known for precision soul and motor rhythm, and this record has both. The Reflections stack doo-wop roots over a brisk, Motown-flavored backbeat and deliver a working-class love story with a smile. The hook lands fast. The hand claps seal the deal. It's blue-eyed soul that still feels proudly street. No orchestra, no grand gestures, just a tight band and a melody that glides. Why they vanished. The British invasion blew open in '64, and crowded pop radio left less room for groups like this after one big smash. But as a snapshot of pre-invasion radio, Romeo and Juliet is perfect.
Done. Well, I know that I love him.
A #1 hit cut by active-duty U.S. Marines. Already an incredible sentence. The Essex found a breezy finger-snap groove and a conversational lead from Anita Humes that makes the whole thing feel effortless.
Because I get so timid and shy each time that
Listen to how the rhythm section leans forward without ever hurrying. The song smiles while it moves. It's early 60s pop at its lightest and neatest. A radio delight that jumped from bases and barracks to every car speaker in America.
I look him in the eye.
We sing to him, swing with him, and just do anything. He's the one.
Why they vanished. Service commitments, fast-changing trends, and the tidal shift toward the British sound made it tough to repeat the magic. But the single remains a perfect summer postcard. Short, bright, unforgettable.
Does that seem fair for her to steal my heart away when she don't care?
Close your eyes and you can hear it. The soft tap of raindrops, a gentle melody, and a voice wondering where love went.
Gone away, looking for a brand new start.
San Diego's Cascades captured the quiet side of early 60s pop with a ballad that moves like a slow walk under an umbrella. Written by lead singer John Claude Gummo, the song blends clean guitar, doo-wop shaded harmonies, and that famous storm intro to create a mood you don't forget. It rose into the national top 3 in 1963 and kept traveling, covered by everyone from country singers to soft rock hitmakers, because it's simple and true. A broken heart, a rainy night, and a tune you can hum forever.
Oh, listen to the falling rain.
Why they vanished. As the British invasion hit, light American vocal groups quickly lost radio space. The Cascades had a few follow-ups, but never again found that perfect weather system of melody and moment.
With each day comes a new way of loving.
Staircase. The band name is quirky. The hook is eternal. This is late 60s pop with brass in its bloodstream, horns smiling through the chorus, drums kicking on the upbeats, and Pat Upton's open-throated vocal selling the simple idea: love grows a little more every day. It feels like sunshine on a front porch, and that's why it's lived everywhere from wedding playlists to movie trailers. The single climbed into the US Top 20 in 1969, and the group issued one album before life pulled them apart. No drama, just one great record that outlived its maker's chart time. Why they vanished. The band's internal changes and the fast shift toward heavier album rock left little runway for a horn-sweet pop unit. The hit, though, never left radio rotation.
My green tambourine.
Psychedelic bubblegum. Yes, that's a real thing. And this is its crown jewel. Produced by Paul Lika, Green Tambourine mixes a hypnotic groove with string swells and a shimmering sitar-like guitar texture. It's both street busker and daydream, turning a simple image into a kaleidoscope of sound. The single shot to #1 in the US in early 1968 went gold and stamped the Lemon Pipers into pop history, even as they wrestled with being pushed toward bubblegum when they were a rock band at heart. That tension, bright candy coating over trippy color, makes the record pop out of any 60s playlist. Why they vanished. Pressure to repeat a formula, label expectations, and the band's own preference for heavier material pulled them apart after a brief run. The song survived because the hook is bulletproof.
Saddest thing in the whole wide world. See you.
A ghost story disguised as a girl group hit. The Janettes built a fog of layered voices over a slow, circling bass line and hand claps that feel like footsteps in an empty hallway.
Oh, Sally, don't you go. Don't you go downtown.
The lyric sounds like playground innocence, but the mood is mysterious, almost haunted. That contrast sent Sally to #2 in 1963 and turned it into a cult favorite for decades.
Sally, go around the pretty roses. They want to tell your secret.
You can hear early 60s New York studio craft at work. Echo, reverb, and stacks of harmonies that blur into a dream. It's proof that pop doesn't have to shout to be unforgettable.
Your secret. The roses will tell your secret. Sally,
Why they vanished. The Janettes were more a studio project than a stable touring group. When the single hit, there wasn't a long-term plan to build on it. The magic stayed in that.
Hey, Pop Lore family. Did you know only 1% of viewers are subscribed? If you love deep dives into pop legends, forgotten gems, and the stories behind the songs that shaped generations, hit that subscribe button right now. And don't forget to turn on LL notifications so you'll be the first to know when we premiere our next video. It's free, it helps Pop Lore grow, and it makes sure you never miss a single countdown or music story. Let's build this community together.
A stomp heard round the world, and a drummer who smashed a glass ceiling. Produced by Joe Meek in his apartment studio on Holloway Road, this UK #1 and US Top 5 drives on a pounding beat, clipped guitar, and a lead vocal that sounds hungry and huge. Meek famously chased wild textures. Legend has it he mic'd foot stomps on a wooden staircase to get that thunder, and the result is a record that still leaps from the speakers. Front and center is Honey Lantry, one of the era's rare female drummers in a charting pop group, giving the track its motor. It's the perfect combination of invention and impact, raw, catchy, and unmistakably different. Why they vanished. Following Meek's singular production style and that first gigantic hit proved tough. Shifting trends and lineup changes didn't help. But the record remains a time capsule of pure pop voltage and a landmark for women in rock. The journey doesn't end here, pop lovers. Watch this next.